Good day and welcome to episode 8 of Entrepreneurship and the Nigerian Youth. In the past 7 episodes, we've been talking about different aspects of entrepreneurship and how it relates with the Nigerian youth. Today, we want to take some success stories and a few case studies that can inspire us to be a little more resilient and to stay focused on the things that you were trying to do. This program is coming to you on Amogate Radio Communications. My name is Adiola Gbadebo, your host. Now, entrepreneurship has always been the backbone of economic growth. And in Nigeria, young entrepreneurs are making significant strides across various industries. Despite the challenges that bedeviled every Nigerian and especially the Nigerian entrepreneurs, such as poor infrastructure, access to funding, and some regulatory bottlenecks, these entrepreneurs have leveraged innovation and perseverance to build successful businesses. So today we will be exploring about 3 successful Nigerian entrepreneurs. They may not be young people, but they started when they were young. 2 case studies of innovative startups also, and some inspirational stories of young entrepreneurs making a difference in the Nigerian economy. So the first, I call this sector learning from successful Nigerian entrepreneurs. The first person we'll be talking about is none other than a very popular richest man in Africa. By the way, I heard he's been displaced, and it's because of the devaluation of the Naira. So Dangote now becomes second richest man in Africa. But I know that it's a matter of time that he will climb back to that spot as being number 1. So we're talking about Chief Alhaji Aliko Dangote, the president and the president of the Dangote Group, the richest man in Nigeria. So Aliko Dangote is a beacon of entrepreneurship in Nigeria. His journey started modestly with a loan from his uncle for trade commodities like sugar, like rice and cement. Through strategic investments and perseverance, Dangote built the Dangote Group. And under the Dangote Group, we have the recent largest single-trail refinery in the whole world, the Dangote refinery located in Ibejuleki, Lagos, which has been emerged in midst of some controversies, but we cannot praise a $21 billion investment that even the Nigerian government couldn't take that risk of doing. So we must praise him for that. Not an initiative. Now it's beyond an initiative. I think I call it is for that daring step, something that is a dangerous leap into deep waters of the oil and gas. So this Dangote Group has now, expanded into multiple industries, including manufacturing, food processing, and refining that I just spoke about. So what are the lessons we can take from Dangote? Long-term vision. Dangote's success can be attributed to his ability to take a long-term view on investments. Nowadays, we want instant gratification. We are in the instant generation. You have instant milk, instant old noodles, 2 minutes, instant passports. Everything is instant. A generation that is so much in a hurry that lack the ability to slow down and think about long-term investments. And you will find out that the reason why most people lose in business and lose their money to fraudsters is because they are impatient, they are unable to have a long-term plan and a long-term view about their investments. They want to start a business and within the first few months of that business, they want the business to be making turnover of billions, which is practically impossible. But in the case of Dangote, you would see that he has his focus His focus is not on the immediate profit. He invested earnings into expanding his business. Then Dangote diversified. You can also look at that is his diversification. He diversified his operations beyond trading and manufacturing, which enabled him to control more of the supply chain, increase profits, and create more jobs. Apart after the government, Dangote is the single largest employer of labor. You can imagine the impact of the Dangote group in the economy, Nigerian economy. And you can imagine if Aliko Dangote had not taken that decision to start this business, you can imagine how many people would not have benefited. Look at the number of people that have benefited, that are working in that group today. It is something that is really, really, commendable. And another thing another lesson we can learn from Dangote is resilience. So we all know that Dangote has faced numerous obstacles, including change in government policies and infrastructural challenges. But you see, his ability to adapt and push forward has been crucial to his business. Dangote never complains about government policies. He just looks for a way to work around it to his advantage. He tweaks his businesses to ensure that whatever policy that government makes is he'll be able to leverage on that policy. That is not to say that he didn't have challenges, that some of those policies did not hurt him. Like I just told you about the devaluation of the naira, and which affected Dangote's wealth, lost a lot of lost billions in naira. There was a time in 2015 or 2016 also that he lost some billions. That even if that billions that the number of billions that he lost, if someone in Nigeria made such money, that person will also appear on Forbes list of the richest people. Now, another person who I would like us to talk about this afternoon is Folorunsho Alakija of Famfa Oil. Folorunsho Alakija is the richest woman in Nigeria. Used to be the richest woman in Africa, but I think has been displaced by one Angolan. I forgot her name now. However, she's the richest woman in Africa. In Nigeria. Is one of the most successful female entrepreneurs. She started her career as a fashion designer. That's funny. She later diversified into the oil and gas industry, where she co-founded Famfa Oil, a major player in Nigeria's petroleum sector. Recently, she opened the headquarters of Famfa Oil, and which is on the Alfred Iwani Road, former Kingsway Road in Ikoyi. Very lovely building that is constructed with billions of naira. So some of the lessons that we can learn from Folorunsho Alakija is we have a lot of lessons we can take from her also, and some of them include persistence. So because Alakija's entry into the oil sector was met with a lot of resistance, but her determination to break into the male-dominated industry ultimately paid off. It was met with a lot of resistance. There was no name they didn't call her. They said she was dating the Nigerian president then. They wondered how. In fact, they called her a hairdresser. They said they wondered how a hairdresser was able to get an oil block and all that. And the oil block that she actually got, listening to her story, she said it took them more than about 10 years before they were able to make. They were able to get oil from it. It was a lot of investment, a lot of patience, and persistence. And because where they gave her was so deep into the water, she called that oil block Agbami. In one of the listening to her talking about her story and how she became a billionaire. Another thing is about innovation and branding. So in her fashion career, she built a reputation for excellence and innovation. That fashion business that she was doing was what launched her and was why the high and the mighty in the country could patronize her for for her fashion sense. They patronized her. She made clothes for the high and the mighty, and it was within that she was introduced to the oil business. So she built a very good reputation for excellence and innovation in her fashion business. So Alakija, she's a philanthropy. Follow Alakija is a philanthropy. She runs a Christian ministry that and she donates quite a lot to charity. Alakija's success has not been solely for personal gain. It has not been solely for personal gain. Through her foundation, she has empowered women and youth, invest in education and poverty alleviation programs. I must also say that Follow Alakija is sometimes acts as an angel investor. So people, she looks at young entrepreneurs that she can invest in their businesses and help them to raise it to a standard, and she often mentors people, young entrepreneurs in that line. So as a young entrepreneur in Nigeria, you may want to position yourself, run your organization in an excellent and well-organized manner that would attract investors like Follow Alakija. The third person we'll be talking about is Jason Njoku. Jason Njoku is the founder of Iroko TV, which is a streaming platform for Lollywood films. Njoku's journey into entrepreneurship actually started with multiple failed ventures. Did a lot of businesses that failed, but did not stop venturing into the field of entrepreneurship before he finally hit success with Iroko TV. Today, Iroko TV has millions of subscribers, including me, across the world, and I'm sure including you too. On the Iroko TV is on multi-choice DSTV, as Rock 1, Rock 2, Rock 3. That Rock is about the Iroko TV, and then he's been able to revolutionize how African films are distributed globally. What are the lessons we can learn from Jason Njoku? One is perseverance through failure. In one of the earlier episodes, I did say that failure is part of the process. Failure is one of the processes that you can go through that can teach you about success. When you fail in something, it simply shows you that, simply gives you a way not to achieve that thing. And as you continue and do not give up, like the famous Thomas Edison story, who continued with it, failed so many times with the electric bulb, and he told him that you've been failing and failing and failing. What inspired you to continue? And he said, well, I didn't really fail. I only learned so many number of ways why that thing would not work, until I finally found out the way that it worked. And once it worked, there was no going back. So this is one of the things that we need to learn, that this sometimes when we failed at something, it's not that that doesn't define us as a failure, but it's part of the process. So Njoku's story is one of perseverance. Having experienced several failed businesses before finding his breakthrough with the Iroko TV project. Now, he also understood market gaps. He did his research very well, and he could see the gap in the market. Njoku identified the lack of digital platform for Nollywood movies. So he created Iroko TV to meet this need, demonstrating the importance of market research and gap analysis. He was able to jump on that, and I told you one of the things you need to do is to, which I said in earlier episodes, is conducting your market research and identifying the gaps that you can fill within a sector, because a lot of people may probably be playing in that sector before you decide to come in. But what gap will you be filling? Have you identified the gaps? Once you are able to identify gaps and you are filling that gap, you will most likely be successful in that area. Another thing is about adaptation and scaling. So as the demand for African content grew, Njoku adapted Iroko TV's model to cater for both local and international audiences. scaling his business globally. So he was able to use that to scale his business to take it to a higher level. If you just joined us, we're still on Amogate Radio Communications, where we're talking about the entrepreneurship and the Nigerian youth. And today in particular, we've been talking about success stories that we can be inspired, that can inspire us, that we can take our inspiration from, we can take a cue from them and see how they also started small, started like you are starting now, but through perseverance and knowledge, and being able to identify the knowledge gap, and conducting a good market research, we've been able to see how they've been able to scale up their businesses and become big and successful businesses. Today we've reviewed about Aliko Dangote's the Dangote Group. And this is a group that I'm sure everybody knows very well. And we spoke about Folorunsho Alakija, of Fanfa Oil, which is one of the indigenous oil companies in Nigeria. And we did still speak that she actually started as a fashion designer, and it was because of her excellence in and innovation in that fashion industry that brought the high and mighty to patronize her. And it is within that high and mighty that she was able to leverage on relationships that brought her into the oil and gas sector. And today, she's a multi-billionaire in that sector. And we just spoke about Jason Njoku of Iroko TV. And that's one of the lessons that I was able to point out there, is how we can learn through failure. For Jason Njoku, haven't done so many businesses that failed but did not give up, persevering through failure, and that he was able to also understand and identify market gaps. He identified market gaps, and in filling those gaps, he was able to also adapt his content, his business model, adapted it to be able to fit for the demand for both local and international audience, which helped him to scale that business, helped him to increase the business, to grow the business to where it is now having millions of subscribers streaming on his platform. I want to continue from there and take a few studies of some innovative Nigerian startups, some innovative Nigerian startups. So the first one we will talk about is about Paystack. I'm sure most of us have been using Paystack as a payment gateway online. We make payments through Paystack and all that. It's actually funded by a Nigerian called Shola Akinlade and his partner Ezra Olubi. And he founded the fintech in 2015, and the fintech provides payments, processing solutions for businesses across Africa. So what Paystack does is it simplifies payments by enabling businesses to accept online payments from customers using various methods, including cards, mobile money, and bank transfers. So we will, those of us who are a bit older, were born in an era where the internet met us in this world, and the internet has become of huge influence and has changed the way business is done all over the world. Initially, if you opened a bank account in Kaduna State and you needed to take money from that bank account, you would have to go to that branch of the bank where you opened and withdraw money and then go to another bank where you want to pay that person to now pay money, or you issue a check. The issue of transfer from one bank or the use of ATMs and all that were not available then. And as this began to come up and the internet opened spaces for payment solutions and all that, Paystack came in and they were able to create a platform where with an API you can integrate onto their platform. As a business person, you are able to accept online payments. So meaning people can buy your products from anywhere all over the world and make payments through the use of Paystack. Even though you do not really, you who run the business, do not have that platform. What you have only done is that you have integrated your business into a platform that has this payment gateway, and through that you'll be able to use it to make payments. So that is what Paystack has been able to do. Now let's look at the innovation and impact. Now Paystack revolutionized the Nigerian financial ecosystem by making online payments easier for businesses of all sizes. Before, it was an expensive thing to be able for people to be able to pay for your services online. Only big companies were able to do that, but Paystack came in and made it easy, even for smaller companies. A small shop that has a website can create a payments platform through Paystack on their site. That reduced the reliance on traditional banking infrastructure. It not only reduced the reliance, it also reduced the failure of banking, because they were able to take a chunk of that thing off the traditional banking infrastructure, thereby making the financial sector and payments solution sector a more robust and more effective. Nigeria actually has one of the most advanced, financial payment systems in the world. That's one thing that most of us do not know. The financial system that we operate in Nigeria is actually higher than some of those European countries, Canada and the US. So in 2020, Paystack became the first Nigerian startup to be acquired by a global company, Stripe. And in a $200 million deal, you can imagine. This acquisition brought global attention to the potential of Nigerian startups, setting a precedent for other African tech companies. So now Paystack continues to expand, serving businesses across multiple African countries and empowering entrepreneurs by simplifying the financial transaction process. Two young men sat down in their small office and began to innovate and began to task their brain and looking at a gap in the financial payment sector and how they were going to provide solution into that, and today brought a multi-million dollar company. Paystack continued to expand help those businesses to expand, and today we are grateful for the bold step that these young men took, and they were able to achieve great success with them. So initially, it looked like the Aliko Dangotes, the Ademo, the Florence Alakijas it looked like they were old people, but you see, I was sharing the story that they actually started when they were young. They were very young. They were less than 30 when they started these businesses, and which has now grown into a multi-billion industry. Now we're actually now talking about people that we know who are probably in our generation, who are much younger and started businesses that we're talking about. Most of them in their 20s when they floated this organization. The second one we'll be talking about is one we have actually made reference to earlier, which is Flutterwave. And I did talk about Inyolu Aboyeji, one of the founders of Flutterwave, and then the second president is Olubenga Agbola, which is another fintech company that made significant contribution to Nigeria's startup ecosystem. So what they also do is to provide, technological infrastructure for global payments. Also, they're also into the payments industry, and they make it easier for businesses to send and receive payments across Africa and beyond. Their innovative impact. Now, Flutterwave is a prime example of how Nigerian startups are leveraging technology to solve real-world problems, such as cross-border payments. The platform has facilitated billions of dollars in transactions across 150 countries. This company raised over $170 million in funding, achieving unicorn status with a valuation of over $1 billion. This achievement has inspired other young entrepreneurs in Africa to pursue tech innovation. That's why we see there's a lot of tech innovation going on in Nigeria and the rest parts of the world. These are some of the stories that we need to keep hearing to help us raise our standard. Flutterwave is not only a fintech success story, but also a testament to the importance of strategic partnerships with financial institutions and governments to drive growth and scale. So there are a few other inspirational stories of young entrepreneurs making a difference. We have Temigiwa Tubosun of LifeBank. He's the founder of LifeBank, a health tech startup that uses technology to connect hospitals with blood banks, saving lives by ensuring timely delivery of essential medical supplies, including blood, oxygen, and vaccines. So Giwa Tubosun's journey into entrepreneurship was driven by the high maternal mortality rate in Nigeria and her desire to save lives. So some of the problems that we have in the society is what entrepreneurs like you and I should use as a motivating factor to create businesses. As long as we look at those problems and we're trying to provide solutions to them, you can put up a structure that will help to help us in the way we revolutionize other sectors of the Nigerian economy. Another person is Olawale Ayilara, the founder of Landway, one of the youngest real estate entrepreneurs in Nigeria, starting the company in 2016. So Ayilara transformed Landway into one of Nigeria's leading real estate development companies, focusing on affordable housing for the middle class. These are some of the stories that we can use. Now, these stories of successful Nigerian entrepreneurs such as Aliko Dangote, Forosho Alakijan, Jason Yohu, with innovative startups like SpaceX and Flutterwave, serve as beacons of hope and motivation. These individuals and companies have demonstrated the power of resilience, innovation, and strategic leadership in overcoming challenges and driving business success in Nigeria. I want to leave you with a statement because I think we need to draw inspiration from some of the successful people we've seen in the environment. If we're able to see it and draw information from them, then it can help us and motivate us to do something in that line. As young entrepreneurs, you cannot wait for the right moment. You need to create that right moment. Entrepreneurship is about turning obstacles into opportunities. I dare say that you need to go through the processing, set up your systems, wait for your investments to yield. As I normally say, that every raw material that refuses to pass through thorough processing has denied itself the opportunity of becoming a super product. Today, I want to encourage you to keep investing, keep persevering, try and innovate around your businesses. Look for how to overcome those obstacles, because in the nearest future, someone is going to talk about your success story and how you were able to go from small to big. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, I've come to the end of today's episode. For your feedback and messages, and if you have questions, you can send us a mail on contact@theamogate.org. You can also reach out to us on our WhatsApp number, +234 810 999 6666. I'll take that again. +234 810 999 6666. There are previous episodes that you can listen to. You can just go to our show reel on MixLR-Amogate. I just want to invite you to join us on our social media platforms and on LinkedIn and Instagram, Facebook. On those platforms, our handles is at Amogate. This program airs Thursdays at 5 p.m. West African time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Until I come your way for another episode, my name is Adiola Gbadebo, and it's bye for now.